guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and we are filming on a Saturday morning another episode of Jordan Card Collecting with our good friend of the show, co-host Zach from Nevada. Zach, what's up? It's a Saturday morning. It's early for you. It's 2 hours earlier, so it's what 7:47 for you.
Yeah.
You love cards, man. You love the Cajun Cardboard channel, and you love cards. What else?
Right.
What else do we need to say? Did you eat breakfast this morning? I haven't eaten breakfast, and it's 9:47 where I'm at. We haven't eaten breakfast. We like cards more than food, more than the sustenance that keeps us alive and collecting.
Go Lakers, man.
Go Lakers. Wow. Yes. We're recording on that Saturday. So last night, the Kings won Game 6 to push to what's going to be an epic Game 7. The freaking Cow Palace in Game 7 is going to be nuts. That home court advantage is big. Fox is on fire. Fox and Monk are a massive problem for those old-ass Warriors, dude.
Yeah,
massive problem. They went to work last night. They felt like they had the advantage, and they showed it. I don't think Sabonis is that good. I'm not impressed with him, dude. Is he just a regular season dude?
He might be. He hasn't really showed up yet. We'll see.
Why? I keep hearing all these talking heads talk about how elite Kevon Looney and Draymond Green are as post defenders. Draymond Green's 6'7". If you're 7 foot tall, you should destroy anybody on earth who's 6 foot. Just turn around and shoot a jump hook 100 times in a row. Don't fart around. Don't screw around. I get it. He can't be moved, but just like turn around and shoot a left-handed half hook every time. Right. And then Kevon Looney, I'm sorry, I don't feel you can be an elite defender. He falls into my Kendrick Perkins where I don't believe it. I don't believe you're an elite defender if you can't jump. If you can't dunk a basketball, I don't see how you can be an elite interior defender. That's just me. But I don't know. I'm a little underwhelmed with Sabonis, but I'm very impressed with Monk and Fox. They are definitely a problem off the dribble for Clay and Steph and Jordan Poole, who doesn't want anything to do with defense. We'll see. It would be interesting if the Warriors dynasty gets buried by the Kings and the Bucks got buried by the Heat in an absolutely embarrassing fashion to the point where they're going to have to break it all down and try to figure something out because they're not going to be able to run it back like this. That team's just getting too old. The parts are not fitting. The coach is definitely out. There's no way in hell that dude's coaching Game 1 next season. No way in hell after what he did. He's lost the players' confidence. He's just not going to happen. So
they may go after Silas, right? Isn't that the rumor?
Shut up, dude. Don't bring that. Don't use the S word on this channel. Don't dare mention the Bucks and Silas. That's great. Yes, I'll tell you what I would like. I'd like a Kevin Porter Jr. trade to the Bucks. Throw him in there and see what happens for the Bucks. See if they can corral his crazy ass and get some of that talent out. But anyway, let's. We're here to talk about Jordans. And we are going to talk about. We'll talk a little bit about. Stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit about the PWCC situation. For those of you who have been kind of following that on social media or mess with PWCC at all, again, I have no real insider knowledge or anything. For some reason, there's this perception that I'm PWCC's pawn because I share pictures on PWCC and I buy cards there. But it's not like I'm, the CFO or CEO or anything, and I don't have any insider information. I have spoken to some people there, including some employees who are no longer there. And they told me there's no reason to panic, Zach. They told me that, it was cost cutting. It was overhead cutting. It was downsizing, like they like to talk about on The Office, Michael Scott. Yeah. But, it's something that I've had to do in my company. It's something that Apple's had to do. Microsoft's had to do. I mean, all the biggest companies in the world have had to do it to adjust to the new economic climate under Joe F. Biden. And it's just where we're at, man. So I'm not panicking. I'm not moving my cards. The majority of my life savings is in that vault, and I'm riding it out, for better or worse. So we'll see how that shakes out. You don't have any. I mean, you're leaving all your stuff in there. You're not messing with that, are you? I mean,
nah, I got no reason to.
I can't keep all my stuff at home. There's just no way I can keep what I have in my house. Number one, it's just a lot of stuff, and number two, it's just too expensive to keep in my house, and there's too much risk.
Right.
And so I guess my second option, if for some reason PWCC did bounce or go into trouble or they started to suffer from a service standpoint because of the lack of employees and lack of people, then I would probably look at the PSA vault. I've not had any experience. Do you have any cards in the PSA vault? I know you grade there and you got the option to put them there. I didn't know if you had ever left any in there. I haven't either.
I don't see the reason to be honest. I just
Yeah, right now PWCC is the best vault. It's just the best vault for me. It doesn't mean I'm like married to the people, but like to me, it's the best vault. It's the best situation. It's the easiest to cut and paste pictures and screen share and manipulate and filter. And I love buying from their auctions because I feel like you can get some great deals oftentimes. Although I haven't lately, I've been losing more than I'm winning. But it's just too easy to buy cards and then they're instantaneously in your possession with PWCC. So it's just kind of my deal. But again, I'm not a PWCC pawn or representative. I don't get paid by those guys. I have no incentive to overhype them or anything like that. So that's what I like. So that's what I use. But I'm not in panic mode. So that's enough of that topic. And it sounds like you're on the same page as me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about so I think we've mentioned on the channel or on these episodes before that we were going to do a trade for a particular card. It was the legacies, right? So I had two 9.5s and I traded you the 9.5 of your choice. Let's pull that bad boy up here. Well, look, first of all, I'm going to screen share with you. How do I do that?
What do you want to see? You want to see the actual card itself?
Yeah, let me go to you. Let's go to you. How do I do this? Here we go. There you go. Yeah, so we got it. Okay.
Yep.
So you've got it pulled up right there. I'm going to pull it up in Card Ladder so we can switch back if we need to. Talk to me. So I can't even remember what we did the trade for, Zach, to be honest with you. That's how bad I am.
So I gave you a Soaring Stars 10.
Yes.
PSA 10.
Yep.
And a little collateral. Not collateral. A little extra money.
Boot. They call that boot in the contract world. Extra money that's made to balance a trade is called boot.
Right.
At least it is down here.
I gave you a little extra boot and picked this up. I think the total was probably around $850. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Somewhere in that area, which I'm pretty happy because the last card before that was at what, like 900, maybe 1,000?
Yeah, it looks like it's gone down. I've got it pulled up. So one sold for 1,300. This one sold for 770, which seems crazy low. That's like half. It makes me think something very strange was going on. I don't know. It looks like a good seller. I don't know. I mean, we can look at the original listing, see what the subs are. Not that that matters that much. Subs are, it's a min gem, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong. That right there on the picture probably scared the shit out of people. You see the big purple slash? I mean, that might have scared people off. I don't know. Yeah. The fact that there's a card behind it with a PSA label might have scared people. I don't know what's going on.
And we've talked about this before, but that's not considered a refractor, right?
No.
Even though it looks like it does?
Yeah, it's not a refractor.
Okay.
No, it's not. Well, it's not a refractor for a couple reasons. There's no base version, so it can't be a refractor parallel. So there's no base version of the Legacy. This is the card. It's just got that kind of foil. Another card like this is kind of like a high risers. I'm trying to think of some more that are like this, where it's like got refractor type tendencies, but I think it's more of a foil deal. It's just kind of a shiny foil. Okay. So yeah, it's not a refractor, but so that's an awesome pickup, man. I mean, that's a great card. Here, let me pull yours back up. Let me get you back. There you go.
There it is.
That's awesome. And what are the subs on yours? It's a 9 for edges, 9.5 everywhere else. Yeah, I think both of mine were min gems, but one was 9 edges, one was maybe non-surface or something. So I just kept whichever. Yeah, I'll let you take whichever one you wanted. And
it didn't matter to me. They were both minimum gems. So
yeah,
at the end of the day,
it's an awesome card, man. Going back, let me look at what the PSA 10's doing. That's a pop 72 in BGS 9.5. PSA 10's a pop 40. That doesn't sell very often. Over the last year, it's actually up, man. That's a good indication for your BGS 9.5. I don't know about that last sale. It might have just been bad timing or something, but this card is certainly up over the last year. I mean, it's higher than all three of these. It's probably the second highest it's sold for. It's the third highest. The last sale was the third highest sale of the last 9 over the last year, and it sold for $2,750. So I think you picked it up for under 1,000. That's a pretty good margin, man. That's about 40% of what the PSA 10's worth. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good considering the what is there, 72 of them? Yeah, there's a lot more BGS 9.5s and PSA 10s. Usually these gem rates are relatively similar. BGS just grades a lot easier apparently for whatever reason.
Right.
SBCs out there. But that's it. So that's your pickup. Anything else? Oh, you talk me through your set chase adventure. So I'll let you screen share.
I sent out the entire set that I got back, and I don't have that pulled, like all the submissions pulled back up, but I do have the master set pulled up. And I was telling you beforehand what I got not BGS 9s. I got one 9.5 that was actually, let me see, I actually think I have it. This was the only 9.5 that I got. It was actually a duplicate. So if anyone wants this one, send me a message on Instagram or something. I promise I'll give it to you cheap.
Yeah. And
But
just to fill people in, you're trying to collect a set in 9.5. This is the 1993 Nike Warner Brothers Michael Jordan Screen Team set thing. And
right.
it's 12 cards.
Right, 12 cards.
And we've talked about it on a prior episode. You had how many BGS 9.5s before the submission?
So I had 4 9.5s.
4 of the 12, and then you bought a raw set for a really good price, sent it all to BGS, and you got almost all 9s and then one 9.5. But the 9.5 didn't move you any closer because it was a dupe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm wearing an ab belt. You ever worn an ab belt?
No,
One of those electric stimulus things. So if I wince or something like that, I'm not going to the bathroom. It is because I'm getting hit with an electric impulse on my abs to take me to the next level.
This one I was really hoping for a 9.5.
Yes.
But the 9 is still actually a pretty big card in a 9.
Yeah, that's the one. Is that the most popular one in the set?
Yeah, and like a BGS 9.5 is like $1,000 card. And then in the 9, I think it's like 200, 250. So
what'd you pay for that raw set? What'd you pay for that raw set?
Raw set I paid 120, and then grading was like, I guess 200, right? 25 times 12.
So you're about in 320, 350, somewhere in that range. Well, shit, that's a pretty good deal, man.
Right.
And you've decided you're going to keep some of those. This is something we've talked about before with set collecting. You're like, do you keep these BGS 9s as like placeholders, and then like try to work your way up to a 9.5? Like if a 9.5 shows up, you buy the 9.5, sell the 9 to offset your cost, and go that way, or do you just sell all the BGS 9 right now and just go back to 4 out of 12? And you've decided to keep the BGS 9s as placeholders simply because it might be tough to get the 9 point. You might not see them.
Yeah, it's extremely hard. Literally, I think the only way I could really do it like quickly would be just submitting, like constantly submitting, but that takes way too much time, effort, and money.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I did it with that 2012 basketball PSA 10 set for sure. Yeah. That was an adventure, and that I'm still not done with. I think I'm at like 290 something out of 300, if I recall, something like that.
Look, let me get your thoughts on this card because I've been considering picking it up. Okay. So this is one of the cards from the set, but it's signed by Phil Knight.
That is so arbitrary. And why are you asking me? I don't know anything about pigs or cartoons or Phil Knight.
Maybe the Air movie got me a little triggered, but I don't know. I just think that's so cool that he signed that card.
It is. I wish he just signed it in a white Sharpie. It looks like it bleeds. You can't see it because that is interesting. I'm sure that's a pop one. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
It's a pop one.
It's a 1-of-1 Phil Knight Porky Pig auto. Just do it with the stutter and just do it. I love it. I don't know. How much do they want for that?
I think I don't know, $230. I probably wouldn't pay $230, but
yeah, I'd probably let that one go. That's just me. You want my honest opinion? I'm probably gonna let that one.
Just let this one go. Huh?
Let that simmer for a little bit. Just kind of relax on that. Relax on that one. You and I have both been a little stale, like on buying stuff. I know I've really slowed down on buying stuff. I have. I've picked up during this severe dip for LeBron. I've picked up some more colored early year LeBrons. I like the early 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16. Those 5-year LeBron color parallels. I really like those, and I put a few $1,000 into picking up 5 or 6 more of those that I didn't have. I'm not trying to like stack or anything like that, but I like those. And I think when all is said and done, 10 years from now, I think early year Panini era Prism color stuff is going to be it's going to kind of be the go-to. It's going to almost be like the inserts are to us 90s collectors. I really believe that that Panini era, everybody who jumped in at that time, it seems that they prefer color parallels over actual inserts. So I've kind of dabbled in a little bit of that LeBron. We've both been buying a prospect that we're not really going to talk about on the channel, but we've both been buying a dollar box, pennies box prospect who has shown flashes, who we're hoping can sign on and become a full-time rotation player. Looked really good in short stints at the end of the season, and basically a tryout for a G League team, but it was an NBA team that had just G Leaguers all around him. So we'll see how that pans out. We've got a whole summer of opportunity to keep buying that guy at pennies on the dollar and take some swings at it. I've got a bunch of his true National Treasure RPAs at PSA right now.
Let me ask you this, because last year when Steph won the title,
his
cards declined, right?
Yep.
So if somehow LeBron got his 5th ring this year,
yes,
do his cards go up?
Well, here's the deal. You've got history telling you it doesn't matter who the hell it is. If they win a title, their cards go down. But here's what people tend to – they're like, well, why would your cards go down when you add something to your resume, you add another notch in your belt? What people tend to forget is that as players approach that milestone, their cards run way up. So I don't – my guess is this. If somehow the Lakers found themselves into the final – his cards, and even Anthony Davis cards, would have run up so much leading up to that yes, once he wins it, supply will flood the market. There'll be too many options. Demand will remain flat because everybody who wanted to get in got in pre-finals, and therefore supply will exceed demand at that point, and it'll put the price point equilibrium down. So yeah, to answer your question, 2 days after the title, his cards are going to be worth less than they were 2 days before the title. And that's like Mahomes, that's Giannis, that's Curry. You could go down the list. That's everybody. That's LeBron bubble year when they won that title that nobody thought they were going to do. Those cards went down after he did that. The other thing you got to reconcile that with is just the market that we're in, is we're still trying to find the floor on certain cards. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we look at this Jordan index I'm going to share in a second. Yeah, I do, Zach. I do. I think that if they made their way to the finals, I think it's like a crescendo. They waxed the Grizzlies and Dylan Brooks' dumb big mouth last night, which is great. The Grizzlies are quickly becoming my most hated team in the NBA, which is really shocking because I never would have said that a couple years ago. But they just got a big mouth. They haven't done anything, and they like to talk. And so it was really good to see LeBron and those guys shut them up. I think his cards may uptick a little bit. I mean, hell, let me screen share here, and let's pull up the LeBron index. Let's go here on Card Ladder over to indexes. Let's hit players. Let's go to LeBron James. Let's see what's going on, man. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, okay? So it's down 41% over the year. We knew that. 6 months, 50% almost. 3 months, 21%. 1 month down. 1 month and 2 weeks is going to be about flat, you know. The interesting stuff is that, like, some of the cards – let's see what the PSA 10
would have held your LeBrons and sold them now.
I don't own any.
I
sold every single one. I had 25 or something like that. I sent every one to Probstein and sold them.
Damn.
Yep. Had to get out, man. It was just time. I took an absolute worst, and it's a timing issue. You know, I guess I could have held long term and tied up all that money, but I wanted that money now to go buy Jordans and again, it's tax season for me, which is never a fun time because I don't get paid W-2. So when, some people are like, oh, it's tax season, I get a tax refund. No, it doesn't work that way for me because the way that my, income is structured, I end up writing gigantic checks to the government. And so I needed some cash and needed to stay liquid. So I just sold all the LeBrons.
I got you.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, LeBron's index is way down. I mean, it's clearly way down. There's no way around it. Are any of his cards going up? What is this sorted by? Let's sort it by over the last 3 months. It's not really a LeBron card. High voltage is a baby. Base cards, far out. These are all little base baby cards. This is kind of the cards that I'm talking about, though, is like, silver now, it doesn't mean shit, right? It's for four-figure pops, right? But back then, this card right here, this is a 2014 Prism, which is a higher pop than 2013, which is a higher pop than 2012. It's a $680 card. It's pop 67. And look, it's not that it's just hard to gem. This is not grade scarcity. it's scarcity. Only 183 have ever been graded by PSA and BGS. Right. That's not a lot, No. Whereas if you look at, look at a 2018 Prism, LeBron, Silver, PSA 10. Watch this. Top 1,098. It's pop 1,098, right? So from 180 graded to now 2,500 plus graded. Right. Really totally different world. People tend to forget that, and they're like, silver is silver. Well, silver is not silver. It's very different. And of course, the prices reflect that as well. But that being said, I still think this 2014 silver, I don't think that's the kind of stuff that I've picked up. Silver, greens, reds, blues. Even the red, white, and blue mosaic, blue, yellow, green, whatever it is, all kinds of different stuff. In 2014, that's what the yellow red looks like, right? I think that's a cool looking card, man. Yeah. I do. I just think it's really cool looking. 71 pop. This is a really good looking card. I've actually have stacked this. I think I have 7 or 8 of these for they're $70. I just think it's a cool card. The green is it's even rarer than the silver. Pop 49. 100 have been graded, basically. Think about that. Yeah. That's not a lot, man. It's not a lot. So these are the kind of cards that I've been picking up. This is just me personally, I've obviously still continued to buy Jordans, pick up the 8s and the 10s, but I started dabbling LeBron because this stuff is just so cheap. It's just so low, man. And it's just no risk long term, I don't think. There's just really no risk. So that's kind of what I've been doing, Zach. Let's look at the Jordan index. All right. I got it pulled up. And we saw the LeBron index, and you could kind of compare those two. The Jordan index down 26% over the last year. Over the last 6 months, it's down 14%. When we looked at the LeBron, I think it was 48% over the last 6 months. And then as we get closer on the Jordan, it's pretty much flat. So over the last 3 months, Jordan stuff's flat, slightly in the red. But I was talking about this with you before we jumped on camera and hit the record button. Dude, I'm not seeing it. I'm losing. Every card that I am trying to win, I'm losing. For the first time in a year, I had bids on maybe 12 Jordan cards in the PWCC Weekly. Zach, I went over. I didn't have one single card added to my vault on Monday after that auction ended. I'm used to getting that email, waking up in the morning. I go to sleep. I don't watch the auctions, and I'm not one of these sniper people. I just put my bid in. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Right. I usually wake up Monday, and I have an email in my inbox from PWCC saying, congrats, these are the ones you won, pay for it. And I didn't have that, and I was like, well, damn, that's weird. PWCC slacking. And I assumed I'd win 4 or 5 because I bid on like 12 to 15, and I didn't win any, dude. I went over, not a single card. And it's not like I'm trying to lowball on these things. I know what they're worth. I know how to read a graph and look at comps. I didn't win any of them. So I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing this flat crap. The cards that I'm looking for are going up. Here's one that I want to talk about. Flair Showcase, row 1, Jordan, PSA 10. Watch this. Look, up 35% over the last sale, which was from when? The height of the market, 2021, the highest the market's ever been. And this is a base card, but it's a pretty rare one. It's a pop 26. It's a pretty cool card. It's a big time card, right? Grading scarcity. That's grading scarcity because there's 800 or whatever graded, but look at the gem rate, 3%, right? So this card jumped from 1,500 last sale to 2025 yesterday. And this was just one of them that I was trying to win, and I was willing to bid a little bit over. I think I was at like 1,650, Zach, because I don't have the card. And I got blown away. Like I wasn't even in the conversation. This thing rode all the way up to 2025, and it was on eBay. And it was a good seller. I wouldn't have bid on it. So 7,500 rating. It's a legit seller, legit sale. You can look at the bids and see. It got ridden all the way out. I mean, look how many different people are bidding on this card, Zach. It's all different. Like none of these are repeats. There's one repeat, but like there's me right there. 13-11, and then I got waxed after that. So, I was not winning that card. I thought maybe it would come down, because it's just a base card or whatever. But no, that did not work out. So that's one example of a card that jumped. I've been sharing it in my Jordan group chat. There's a bunch of other cards that have just really jumped. Now, some of the crazy high-end stuff is selling for lower than it has in a really long time. But cards in this, like high three figures to $1,000 to $2,000 range, and those cards seem to be jumping to me, at least from what I see. Even some of my PSA 8 stuff that I try to pick up in the PWCC weeklies, I'm not getting it, man. I'm not getting it.
Not even the 8s?
Not even 8s. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy and bid crazy numbers on some of these cards. Let me think of some. Let me go to.
You must have started a little trend on the 8s, huh? People are following your footsteps.
Come on, man. You know that's not true. No, I don't think so. I think I get more questions like, "What kind of idiot is collecting PSA 8s?" I was like, "Relax. I got PSA 10s too. Calm down." Let's look at this. We're sorting Jordan Index, all his cards that are PSA 8s over the last 3 months. Some of these are crazy, man. I mean, here's one of your, one of the cards that you like, these the Z-Force Z-Cling PSA 8. I mean, look at the last 3 sales. It got down to $15, 18, 27, 40. And I know that's a small little baby card. Let me try to find one a little bit bigger. Here's one. This is a pain in the ass card. This is that 3-card set. This is the MJ3. Wait, that's the MJ3 too. Okay, I was about to say that's the middle card. So it's 3 cards. They fit across horizontally. This is the middle card. So it's the middle card as far as price, and it's the middle card as far as scarcity as well. MJ3 is the hard one. But this card's a pop 109. It's a PSA 8, and look at that card, man. I don't like looking at all time. That's dumb. But that's over the last year. Look how much it's up. In the market where we just looked at the Jordan Index, it's down 25% over the last year. This card's up 30%. Some other PSA 8s. Where's another Flair Showcase? The Flair Showcase row 2, although that's crazy. I don't want to look at that. Famous nicknames. The last one jumped way the hell up here. Look at that. $56 for a PSA 8. I think the PSA 10s come way down, actually. Well, the last one of those jumped way up to I don't know about that one. Let's look at this, Zach. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that seems nonsense to me. That's because look, if we click buy it now, I bet I can go find one for less than $1,000. Yeah, I mean, we could pick one up right now for less than $1,000. Those are all or best offer. That seems like BS to me. That's something y'all got to be careful for. Don't just look at that last green dot and go with it. Look closely at it. There's no way that's right. The next one of these will sell for $650 or $700. That's just my opinion.
Can you check the Beam team in 9.5? Because I've been
92.
Yeah. Because it says the last sale was $1,500, but I'm pretty sure it didn't get paid. So
That one right there. It's a big jump too, Zach. That would be the highest that it's sold in the last maybe 10 or 12 sales.
Right.
That would be the second highest sale of the last 15 over the last year for sure. Especially odd considering the last one dropped all the way down to 1,000. So that'd be interesting. Let's check it out. There it is on eBay. It was the best offer, so it wasn't a.
But if you click buy, like whatever, buy now on the card ladder, like to show the options.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like the same picture comes up, right? Is that it on the second one?
Right here?
Yeah, is it the same picture?
Could be. Let's see. 1376. $13.76. You nailed it. Yeah, same card. So, well, let's see. Is it the same seller? Bro 2 EPH 1. That's who sold it. Who's selling it now? It says not available. It says
Someone
not
just
available.
buy it? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Same seller.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that means it wasn't paid.
So if you were gonna pick that card up, how much would you pay? Considering the last sale is technically $10.25.
Let's go see what the real last sale was. Yeah, let me kill this. Me, like if I didn't have it and I needed, first of all, I've got it for you. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, and I'll treat you better than eBay, but like it was consistently 1,200. This one dropped down to 1,000 without knowing anything else. That was on a Probstein sale on February 16th, so it hadn't sold in 3 months. Pop 172. Let's look at our graph here. I mean, I'd probably be somewhere in between those last two. I'd probably be close to this 1,200 number. I think the next one will probably be somewhere around the 1,200 number. The 1,500 we can throw out, so maybe 1,100 to 1,200, Zach.
Okay. If you were going to offer,
if I was going to offer, I would try to offer at 1,100, and I would absolutely take the opportunity to type into the messages, "Hey, I just wanted you to be aware that last sale for 1,500 did not get paid, so that's not a valid comp. The last one I'm seeing is 1,025 and 1,200. Can we meet in the middle?" That's the way that I would pitch it.
Okay.
And you'd be super polite. Thanks for considering. That's my best and final offer, 1,125. Can we meet in the middle and see what he does?
Right. And then I guess speaking of, how to price cards, can you share my screen? I want to show you this because this is a card that I need that I've been looking at because in his
refractor or base?
This is base.
Yeah.
I've actually became more of a Kobe fan. Since I was never a Kobe fan when he played, but since he passed, for some reason I've just appreciated him more. I guess that's just how it goes.
Yep.
But it has 210 subgrades, right? So, but then it's at 900. So I don't know how you price a card with the 210 subgrades.
What's that card listed for?
900. Buy it now.
That's a buy.
That's a buy.
The last one sold for 990. One before that was 910. One before that was 900. And that's going to be. Oh, it's a mixed gem with a 9 for surface.
Yeah. But I mean, still, it's 210.
That's probably a good buy. Is it buy it now or is it best offer?
No, it's buy it now.
Yeah. That's somebody who has actually priced a card very fairly. This $9.99 that hit that's like a month and a half ago. So this person might be motivated to move. They look like a good seller or whatever. Probably a pretty good sale. The card has not. I mean, there you go. Hold on. I'm not sharing. Here we go. There's the chart. That's the 9.5 base. I mean, look, last sale 990. Before that was 910 and 900. There was this anomaly, but we'll throw that out because before that it was 930, 870, 875. That's over the last year. It's actually up 13% over the last year. Of course, it's down over the last 2 years, but everything is. It got as high as 1450. It's a pretty good move. I mean, I always like to, when you're buying a BGS 9.5s, I always like to look at the PSA 10s too because they usually move commensurate. They usually have some kind of congruity between the two. And there's the PSA 10 is actually a much, much higher pop. That's the PSA 10 over the last 3 months, also up 15%. So it looks to me like that's one of the few Jordan cards that's actually trending upward, noticeably upward, with a pretty good sample size for the BGS 9.5 and the PSA 10. 900 seems like a pretty decent buy, man.
Okay.
What's the PSA 9 doing? Up 23%, even more. What's the BGS 9 doing? It doesn't do anything because there's not that many of them. It's down. I mean, if a 9 is 552, I feel like a BGS 9.5 should be worth more than 40% more.
Yeah.
Seems like it to me.
Yeah.
I don't have this card in PSA 8. What's that worth? 450?
Dang.
Oh, it came down a little bit. Yeah. Interesting. What about the pops? I know the refractor very well because I have a BGS 10 refractor. I don't think I have. I think I have the PSA 10 base. I think I just kind of put that off. But that's a really easy card to grade. Which is why you see 13 BGS 10s. You see an 80% gem rate here, 57% gem rate there, and then if you look up the refractor, it's also got a really good gem rate if I recall. Yeah, 36 and 76% for a refractor with 27 BGS 10s.
Dang.
And 91 PSA 10s. So card just grades really well, man. Refractor seems to finally be moving as well. The 9.5 refractor is up to 4,000.
Is the Topps product just made well? Is that why it grades?
Just this year. Just this card. I mean, there's other Topps that are, if you go look at Topps paper cards and stuff, it's not going to, no, it's not a Topps thing that generally speaking you can say they're, no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. What else? What else you want to talk about? Anything else? What's next? Is that kind of the one you've got your eye on next? That's a pretty big card, man. I mean, that's pushing 4 figures.
That one and the Beam Team are the two that are in my sights. I got to kind of figure out which one I want to go for.
Yeah. Let's look at the Beam Team again real quick. Let's just kind of look at that. Curious. It's always curious to look at the difference in price between so the Beam Team 9.5 is $14.56. The Beam Team members only 9.5 is $17.20, but I don't know when the last one sold. You got to be careful with that. The last Beam Team sold almost 2 months ago for $1,500. The last members only sold last May, so that's why you got to kind of be careful with those. That's a pop 17. That's rare. That's tough.
You were searching that card, right? Did you ever end up getting it?
Yeah, let me pull my stuff up and we can look at it real quick. I gotta take you off screen so we don't show the whole vault.
Right. I know you had that. You didn't have the members only, right? You just had the base. Is that correct? In a 10?
The members only, and it was a monster, yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna show you my whole Beam Team family here. Watch this. Here we go. All right, I can share this. Boom. All right, so you can see the value. There's 11 of them in there or whatever, but this is all the Beam Teams I have. So I've got the 92 members only 10, 92 members only 8. So I'm done there with that pairing. I got the 92 9.5 for you, right? I'm holding on to that for you. No rush. It's sitting there whenever you're ready. Let's roll. I've got the 92 base Beam Team 10. I've got the 92 base Beam Team 8. So I'm totally done with 92 Beam Team. I can put that to bed permanently. The 93, I've got the members only 8 and a members only 9.5, which I can't give to you because that's all I got. And then I've got the base 93 PSA 10 and the base 93 PSA 8. So unless a Beam Team PSA 10 members only 93 comes along, I'm probably going to be set there too. Right. And then the real tough one, the one that I like the most is this 95. It's just freaking gorgeous, man. Yeah. And I've got a 10 and an 8, so I'm done there. But finding those in members only is like miserable. Watch this. The 95 Beam Team. Oops.
Does it just have the stamp on it? The members only stamp? Is that the only difference?
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be in here. It's not even in here. It's not even in here. It's crazy low pop. Let's go. We can go to PSA. Watch this. I'm going to show you because it is important. This one is like exceptionally rare. The other stuff's rare. Like the other members only are rare, but this is like exceptionally insanely rare.
Okay.
I just want to look at it.
Do any 10s exist?
Yeah, 6. There you go. 6 10s, only 29 8s, a couple 8.5s. Only 76 have ever been graded, like by PSA ever. So it's just a tough card, man. If you look at the total graded, and again, look how many fewer of these have been graded than 92 Beam Team. Like this is 95 Beam Team, the die cut, the laser cut, right? So what are we talking about? PSA is graded 561. Where were we on the 92 Beam Team? Look at this. $2,500. That's what I'm saying. So that 95 is like so much more rare. It's not, you don't see it as often. It's not talked about as often. It's not the first Beam Team. It's not the first inserts. You know, like that's a foundational piece, the 92. But the 95 is really the creepy, crazy one, right? That's the one that's just like it's more difficult to obtain. It's certainly more expensive. What's the PSA 10? 4,900. Wait, is that right? 5,000 last sold, 1995 Beam Team. Let's see what the last sold that is.
These can't surface very often, right?
Not the same. 5280. But to me, that's wrong. Like that doesn't make sense. Like the pop is like preposterously different. Like that's a significantly different population. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think the card looks better. Am I crazy? I just think that card looks better than the 92. I get the 92's classic and foundational and epic and iconic, all those things. But like, dude, that's an awesome looking card. That does not look like a card from 1995. That looks like a card that's in Court Kings 2022 or something crazy. You know what I mean? It just really, really pops. And it's hard to tell. This is all intricate laser cut in here. So this is like super, super tough stuff. And then this is pinhole die cut, almost like the Platinum Portraits on his face. Just an awesome card, man.
So not only are they hard to find, they're impossible to grade as well. That's what you're telling me.
5% gem on the base, 2.87% with Beckett. This is one of those where Beckett's twice as hard as PSA. You know what I mean? There's no rhyme or reason to that. I can't figure any of that crap out. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes PSA is way easier. Sometimes Beckett's way easier. That's where doing your research, if you're open to PSA and BGS, doing your research before you send it in about which one grades better is it can be rewarding. It can make a difference. I mean, we talk about that in that Jordan group chat that I'm in all the time. Is like, just like with ultra modern cards, some cards should be sent to BGS. Some cards should be sent to PSA. It just depends on the type of card, the look of the card, the year of the card, the product. Same can definitely be said for the 90s stuff. Like, some cards definitely should be sent to PSA and some should definitely be sent to BGS. And that's why I collect both, because some cards belong in one holder and not the other. And there's no ultimate rule, and it's just, opinion, of course. But the consensus amongst a lot of us collectors is that certain cards need to be in certain cases. Not that there's anything wrong with the card in another case, but, I think oftentimes we agree on which cards should go to BGS and which cards should go to PSA.
Right.
Anyway.
Didn't you have a pretty bad experience with PSA recently?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, not experience, but they didn't do what you wanted, right?
No, I mean, they've always done what I wanted. I sent I think 11 Shaq Flair. Hey, look, I can screen share and show you the card. I sent Flair Anticipation Shaquille. I don't know if that's going to be in the. No.
And did you end up sending some back? Because some of them came back
it came in
altered
men's size or whatever. This is the card that I sent. I had 11 of those raw, and I sent them all into PSA. 6 of them came back in 6, which is like men's size, meaning they're cut short, like not altered, but like just not appropriate size, so they didn't grade it. 6 out of the 11. And then I got 2 9s maybe and 3 8s. So no, I went 0 for 11. And they were, Zach, when I tell you, dude, these cards were so clean. Here's the deal. As an experiment, I'm sending all of those bitches back. I'm sending all 6 of them back that didn't get graded, and I'm going to run it up the flagpole and see if they grade it this time, because I think that's arbitrary. I've done it before. I've done it before with Jordan cards that come back miscut, men's size, this, that. It happened with a Jordan 1996 Stadium Club Star reprint kind of card. There's a reprint, kind of chrome-looking reprint of the 84 Star 101 that Stadium Club did. I think it was in 96. I'm not sure. But I sent it in and they wouldn't grade it. And I was like, you know what, let me just try it again. I sent it again. They graded it the next time. And I was like, well, this is ridiculous, and ended up selling it and making really good money on it, believe it or not. But yeah, so that's my experience with them lately. And then I also sent in, spoiler alert, next week. Well, I don't know when this video is coming out, but the week of May 1st, I did a 5-part series where I opened a 1988 Fleer box and I busted the box on the channel. I talked about the value of the cards. We looked at all the cards. I sent 32 in to PSA to get graded. I do a PSA grade reveal in episode number 4 on Thursday. And then episode number 5, we talk about the prices and how much I won or lost on breaking that box. So I sent 32 1988 Fleer cards to PSA. Jordan 88 Fleer, Reggie Miller rookies, Stockton rookies, Rodman rookies, Pippen rookies, the Jordan All-Star, the Jordan stickers. A bunch of the stickers are valuable, in high grade. It did not go well. Let's just put it that way. But it was exactly what I expected from PSA. What didn't go well was the quality control of the cards within the box.
I think you told me that they just looked bad coming out, or the centering was bad.
There was not a single card in there that was centered out of the entire box. Not one single card in that box. How about this? I opened that box. There was not one card in the entire box. This is packed fresh, untampered, because all the cards that I was looking for were in there. There was not one card that I thought would grade a PSA 8 in the entire box. Commons, Jordans.
That bad?
Not one single card. Because of the centering. Because of the centering.
Dang.
So
are you
stay
just
tuned.
Sell all
if
the
you
cards?
guys are watching this video, you definitely want to subscribe and hit the notifications because it's a 5-part video series and it was a brilliant idea. And I'm going to do it again on a different product or maybe even the same product out of spite. a 5-part video series. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, 5 days consecutive, same box. I'm going to walk you through the process, and you're going to either laugh at it or cry about it. I cried about it, but I cried off camera, and so it was one of those deals where, yeah, it just didn't work out great. But you win some, you lose some, so we'll see. Anything else, Zach? Anything you can think of? East West is on your radar. 92 Stadium Club Beam Team's on your radar. Anybody watching who's got 9.5s that they're looking to move, reach out to Zach. Zach, tell us again your Instagram. Shop Card Addiction.
No caps, no spaces, just shop SHOP Card Addiction.
Yeah, Zach is Shop Card Addiction on Instagram. If y'all are looking to move 9.5s, I've been getting a lot of messages lately from people saying, hey, I watch your channel. I see you collect PSA 8s. I'm selling this. Are you interested? And 90% of the time we get deals done, man. The people that reach out to me have been real gracious and real fair. And we've gotten deals done for 8s and 10s. But a lot of deals getting done on Instagram through messages just from people watching the channel. And so I appreciate everybody who's reached out to me about stuff like that. From watching the channel, I do appreciate it. So
I know you're not a gambling man, but if you had to pick one for tomorrow, you betting Kings or Warriors?
I'm betting Kings. I think the Kings put the dynasty to bed once and for all. And then the Warriors and the Bucks both find themselves in the unenviable position of trying to recycle this thing. Draymond's not going to be back. Hey, look, if they're banking on Jonathan Kuminga as like this foundational piece, that dude is trash. I'm sorry. I take Moody over Kuminga, but that dude, Jonathan Kuminga, I do not understand what anybody sees in that dude. He's what we used to call in AAU circles in the grassroots world that I used to live in. We called him the airport player. He looks good getting off the airplane, but he can't play for a damn lick. And so dude can't dribble. Dude can't think. Can't make decisions. He's too upright. His center of gravity is too high. I don't understand. He can't shoot. I don't understand what is so great about him. He can jump. Great. Right. So can a bunch of guys that are running track for Team USA. Don't mean they can play basketball. You know.
And then quick Nuggets Suns. You're taking the Suns?
I think. Hang on. Pix and I did an episode, and I think I took the Suns. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with the Suns, but it won't be easy, dude.
No, I don't know if they're deep enough.
Neither one of the. But here's the deal: neither one of these teams these are probably the two teams with the least amount of depth. I think the Nuggets have no depth, and the Suns have no depth. But you know who had depth? The Bucks. And guess where they are? And you know who allegedly had depth? The Warriors. And look at the position they find themselves in. So in the playoffs, man, those rotations get tight, and coaches stick with certain players, and they're going to play 7 or sometimes 8, and that's it, man. That's all you're going to get. So depth isn't that big of a deal, and it sounds like the Suns maybe have found their 5th player in that Torrey Craig situation because he can guard. And he's making his threes. He's not an elite offensive player, but he's making open threes. And if anybody's going to be open, it's going to be Torrey Craig with the other dudes that are on that floor, right? I mean, if you had to do your all-playoffs team right now, your 5 best players in the playoffs so far, you got Jimmy Butler, unquestionably. You've got De'Aaron Fox, unquestionably. And you've got Booker, unquestionably. Those 3, no one can argue with. Those 3 are in your starting 5 all NBA playoffs teams after, 4, 5, 6, whatever games. Right. Who else is in there? Brunson maybe tries to sneak in.
Maybe Jokic.
Jokic has been great. Yeah. I'm trying to think of guys.
Did Embiid have a bad game? I don't think Embiid had a bad game, but I mean, that's 2
Embiid was pretty damn good, and he's hurt. And so that's what the concern is for them. Of course, Jokic and Embiid have got to be in the conversation. Yeah. I'm thinking
Anthony Davis hasn't played too bad.
Anthony Davis, dude, has been amazing on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks would be on my bottom 5. Even if he was going for 20 and 10 every night, I'd put him in my bottom 5 just out of spite.
Man.
All right. Enjoy the game. I think Nuggets Suns play today.
Yeah, like noon, right? Well, it might be noon my time.
I got to go see that. I got to get my workout in. I got JoJo. Here, pop in real quick. Go ahead. Get in here. JoJo's in here. Famous soccer collector trying to make a name for himself in the soccer world. He looks thrilled. He looks like I abuse him. He looks so sad. Why are you so sad? Why you look so? Oh, now you're smiling off camera. I look like an abusive dad. The kid was scared to death. Now he's all happy, right? So we're going to work out at the gym, swim a couple laps, and then we'll go home and watch the game.
All right.
Cool. Hey, we can't do this again until you buy a card. You got to buy a card. I can't ramble. We can't ramble for an hour without, talking about how great one of your cards and one of your pickups is. But maybe somebody can fix that by reaching out to Zach on Instagram and finding him the 9.5.
Sounds good.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. Guys, thanks for watching as always. This was episode 11 of Jordan Card Collecting with Zach. I am uploading all of my stuff now onto Spotify, Google, and Apple podcast platforms. So go check it out if you're one of those podcast people. It is best viewed and absorbed on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube or on a podcast, please do me a favor, go subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell icon for notifications. Still, to this day, continuously unsullied by any advertisements, Zach, at the beginning or the end. I would gladly sell myself to do an ad at the beginning and the end for a few bucks. That's how cheap I am. But I promise you guys, I'm never going to put any ads in the middle of this thing and sell out like that, because I know it drives me nuts when I'm watching the YouTube stuff that I really like to watch. When I see an ad in the middle for Cialis or some old people in a tub naked, I don't want to see that stuff in the middle of my ads, right. Or tampons with wings or whatever the hell they put in these ads. I want to control my content. Dude, get out of here. I want to control my content. And so for that reason, you're just getting card talk and NBA basketball talk. And sometimes we go off topic, but it's never going to be with an ad. So thank you guys for watching. Zach, thanks again for joining, man. Take care. We'll talk soon. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.